We are back with another eBay store review for Allie's World of Treasures. Fun fact, I just recorded this entire video to a black screen, and we're doing it again. So let's pray that this works out this time. So, Allie, thanks for giving us the opportunity to review your closet, not once, but twice. We're very excited to be here today and to be able to work through this stuff with you. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in and get started. First thing that I absolutely love about this closet is the cohesive theme. I always love when people have cohesive themes. Same colorways. You've got the same font all the way through. I loved your about section that you talked about finding homes for objects, big and small, that you wanted to upcycle, recycle, keep things out of the landfill, and really just give objects the opportunity to be put into a new home instead of into the trash. So I really appreciated that. I think your buyers will appreciate that. It looks really nice. I also love that you have these featured categories. You've got your newly listed, featured items. Again, just honestly pretty top notch as far as ability to navigate your store. We're going to go ahead and move into all of your items here and kind of look through what you have. I have filtered to newly listed because I don't feel that it's fair for anybody to be judged on what they did before. So we are going to go to newly listed items. I have selected a few items up here at the top to cover with you today. They're just a few random items, but we're going to go ahead and jump right in. The first thing I like to evaluate is photos. Generally, it looks like most of your photos are pretty clean in the background. There are a couple that have some things in them, but for the most part, it just seems to be the item. Your item does appear to take up the majority of the frame. It doesn't seem that you have a bunch of things cluttering the area or that your items are further away so that the buyer can't tell exactly what they're getting. So I do think that that is top notch. When we go into your actual items, I do think there's a little bit of an opportunity to maybe cut into some of the frame, go a little bit closer to your items, but I do like that you intended on getting close-ups of your tags so that buyers can read those. You've got your material tag here. The only thing I'd like to see you include would be measurement photos so your buyer knows exactly what they're getting and what the sizes look like for that. I did notice on some of these when you use the zoom in function through eBay that the tags are blurry or a little bit more difficult to read. So I thought that that would be something easy to mention for you that you might want to consider looking at just so that you know your buyer can actually see the item. You could include those measurement photos. This one we don't have a size on. And I didn't notice you saying anything about not having the size and it being an estimate. So I'm assuming there was a size tag somewhere. I would just make sure that you include those items in those photos as well. We will look at your titles. Most of the titles, when I look through your eBay store, seem to be pretty good. Some of them do tend to be a little bit shorter, like this one here, where I think that there's some items and some opportunities that could be added to that title. So what I did is I selected the titles and highlighted them and posted them on here. This is the title. Anything in bold are your titles. Anything below that is what I would have put. You had 54 characters, 80 characters, and 77. That's what those numbers are. So for example, you had Madewell tie front, midi dress, v-neck, red, extra large, XL, new tags. I would have labeled that as a Madewell women's shorts, flutter sleeve, crepe mini dress, size extra large, red, lace front, new tags. One important thing to mention is you have this listed as a midi, not a mini. Which is going to be huge because the buyer's going to get that and expect it to be mid-calf, and it's actually like mid-thigh. It's quite the difference. So I would definitely look at making some adjustments on that. Silklin women's size petite, large, black, white, embroidered silk button-up jacket blouse. I would have put Silklin women's 100% silk button-up jacket, size large, petite, black, white, floral. Again, not that anything you have in there is really bad. Just try to think about it from the way that your buyer might be searching for the item versus just trying to put in whatever you can to finish it. I would definitely also plan on using all 80 characters if you have the ability to use those. This is just my page of notes. It will be coming over to you as well, so you'll have it to reference. But these will just give you kind of a few ideas. As far as looking through your listings, they look pretty good. It seems that you've got most of the descriptions or most of the drop downs that you should have. I do think there's some area for opportunity in your descriptions, maybe to tell a little bit more about the item. But again, not a make or break it. I just think it might give you the opportunity to expand a little bit more. Shipping looks good. You do accept returns. I think that's definitely going to help your sell-through rate ability as well. The Silkland, the only flaw I saw in it was that you have it listed as solid, where I would have listed this as floral, just because of the floral embroidery on it. And as I said, you could add some stuff to the description if you wanted to. I didn't see anything glaringly obvious on here as far as issues as well. Same thing. Shipping looks good. Returns are still set. You've got your handling time set. So I think, honestly, your descriptions or your listing details look pretty good. Let's talk about buyer demand. So buyer demand, when I searched and comped Madewell, the Madewell item you had, there were 11 available and 0 sold. When I did the Silkland, there were 270 available and 42 sold. And when I did the Coldwater Creek, you had 4 available and 0 sold. From what I'm seeing, these 3 items specifically, if I had been in the thrift store and I had the opportunity to purchase them, I probably would have passed. That being said, the sell-through rate is just not 100% there. When the 100% sell-through rate is not there, that's when you have to evaluate pricing. So when you're evaluating pricing, the way that pricing looks is you're going to want to be under where everybody else is currently marketed. So for Madewell, you had your item marked at $40. I would have marked it at $40. For the Silkland, I would have marked mine at $25. You had it at $27. For the Coldwater Creek, you had it at $17.99. I would have marked mine at $15. And again, we always round down when we do our pricing, but that gives you an idea of where we would be. It seems like your pricing is pretty good. It does seem like you're pricing pretty consistently and pretty well with the market, knowing that you have items that are a little bit less desirable. I did know that one of your concerns was taking offers. I think one of the best ways to combat that is by selecting items that have a higher sell-through rate. You won't have to worry as much about accepting offers or taking less value, because you'll know you'll be getting desirable items, which when an item is desirable, that's what's going to help you really push through and make it or break it as well. So when we calculate your sell-through ability, your sell-through percentage is 7.36%. The goal is to have about 10% as it is as an average. You must also consider any other platforms you have. This is honestly one of the best I've ever seen as far as sell-through percentages. That means in a month, you're going to sell in just 30 days, 7.36% of your items. So if you double and then triple, so 30, 60, 90 days, you're looking at just under or just about 22% of your items are going to sell in 90 days. And this is with a sell-through rate on items that are not 100%. So I can only imagine how much more that's going to increase if you do get some items that are 100% sell-through rate. When I look at your feedback for your store, you do have 100% feedback. What I saw in here is that you were quick, your items were as described, people loved interacting with you, you had great customer service. Honestly, your buyers really love you. When I look at consistency, I do see a little bit of a struggle. You said you were trying to list 30 items every week. As far as a week goes, you're probably pretty close to that. I would look at trying to kind of expand and spread those out throughout the days. So if you're going to do 30 in 7 days, I would divide 30 by 7 and then list that many each day just to kind of average it out a little bit. I would focus on that consistency piece. That seems to be huge. I would focus on making sure that you have high sell-through rate items, and I would add some more to your descriptions as far as helping or room for improvement on things that I think would help your items sell a little bit more. I appreciate you, Allie, for giving us the opportunity to review your closet, and also for allowing us to share this with everybody on YouTube so that they have the ability to check out your closet and really figure out how that works for them. And see if there's any tips and tricks that they learned from this video that they can implement in their own store. So we appreciate you, and we'll see you guys on the next one.